I am 92 years old. That sentence alone carries more weight than anything I could say next. I have buried the love of my life. I have shaken hands at funerals more times than birthdays. I have watched entire generations disappear, and I have outlived every version of myself that once thought approval mattered. At some point, fear of judgment simply dies before the body does. I'm standing at the edge now. I can feel it. The noise fades when you get here. And before I step forward, I want to turn back and speak to those of you still dancing under bright lights, still convinced the music will never end. You are living as if time is something you can stockpile. You wake up assuming tomorrow is guaranteed. You delay joy. You postpone forgiveness. You schedule happiness like it's an appointment you'll get to later. You talk about someday as if it's a real place on the map. Ease. You don't understand time the way you think you do. You understand it academically, but not emotionally. If you truly felt how fragile it is, you would live differently. You wouldn't rush through your days like disposable cups. Let me tell you about someone I once knew. His name was Robert. This was the early 70s. Robert was sharp, ambitious, always 10 steps ahead. He had a gift for numbers and a hunger that never slept. Everyone assumed he was destined for something big. One evening, we were sitting across from each other in a quiet bar, the kind with leather booths and dim lights. He was celebrating a major win at work. He smiled, leaned in, and said, "Just a few more years." I pushed hard a little longer, then I slowed down. Travel, learn new things, enjoy life. He said it like it was guaranteed. 3 mornings later, his wife found him collapsed on the kitchen floor. He never felt it coming. Neither did we. Robert didn't get the years he was saving joy for. He never slowed down, never took the trips, never learned anything new except, perhaps, the truth at the very end. The tragedy wasn't that at the end. That happens to all of us. The tragedy was that he postponed living. He treated his life like a rehearsal, like the real show would begin once everything was perfectly arranged. It never did. After his funeral, I visited his office. His desk was still warm with purpose. Meetings scheduled, deadlines marked in red, urgent notes everywhere. The world kept moving. Someone else sat in his chair within weeks. His name faded faster than his memory deserved. That's when it hit me. Your absence will be noticed, but only briefly. And when I look at you now, I see that same mistake repeating. You tell yourself you'll be happy once the title changes, once the bank balance grows, once the kids are older, once the timing feels right. Listen carefully. There is no later. There is only what you choose today. Trading your present for a future that might never arrive is the most dangerous gamble you can make. Let's talk about the things you chase. You live in a world obsessed with ownership. Bigger homes, newer cars, endless upgrades. You sacrifice sleep, health, and relationships to afford objects that will outlast your interest, but not your life. I live simply now. One room, a chair, a bed, a photograph that matters more than anything I ever bought. I once owned things people admired. They're gone, sold, forgotten, or gathering dust in places I'll never see again. I've attended enough funerals to learn this truth. Possessions do not follow you. They don't comfort you. They don't speak for you when you're gone. Eventually, someone you've never met will decide what to keep and what to discard. Most of it will end up as waste. So why exhaust yourself for it? Why miss moments you can never recover to afford things that don't love you back? I'll tell you about what I thought was my greatest achievement. I was honored publicly once. A room full of applause, formal clothes, speeches, praise. I felt invincible. That night, I returned home alone. The house was quiet. Everyone was asleep. I placed the award on the table and stared at it until the pride faded. The silence was louder than the applause. The people who clapped didn't truly know me. They admired what I produced, not who I was. Upstairs were the people who mattered, and I had chosen work over them more times than I can count. That award is lost now, but the memory of what I missed is not. Your job is not your legacy. It is a transaction, time exchanged for money, and the exchange rate is never in your favor. If you disappear tomorrow, your role will be filled quickly. The machine does not grieve. So, don't worship something incapable of loving you. What remains then? Only what you give. Love given. Time shared. Presence offered without distraction. When I sit alone now, I don't replay accomplishments. I replay laughter. Quiet mornings. Small kindnesses that seemed insignificant at the time. That is real wealth. So here is what I leave you with. First, let go of your ego. You are far less observed than you imagine. People are consumed by their own worries. Fear of judgment keeps you frozen, waiting for permission that will never come. Second, live as if moments are finite because they are. One day, every ordinary thing will become a memory. Treat it accordingly. And finally, wake up. You are alive. You are capable. And you are spending precious hours numbing yourself instead of living. Step outside. Look up. Speak honestly. Forgive quickly. Choose connection over convenience. Life does not wait for perfect timing. It only moves forward. And one day, without warning, it ends. Make sure you were truly here while it lasted. I've said enough. Now, it's your turn. Please.